Reading from the Gospel according to Luke. As Jesus approached Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard the crowd going by, he asked what was happening. They told him, "Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." Then he shouted, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And those who were in front sternly ordered him to be quiet, but he shouted even more loudly, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus stood still and ordered the man to be brought to him. And when he came near, he asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" He said, "Lord, let me see again." And Jesus said to him, "Receive your sight. Your faith has saved you." Immediately he regained his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, when they saw it, praised God. The word of the Lord. When I hear this story of Jesus at work, it feels like a stark contrast for some of the other stories we've been hearing in the previous couple of chapters. My mind is particularly drawn to when Jesus' disciples come and ask him for help with their faith, and he rebukes them for it and challenges them, doesn't give them what they ask for. The parable of the rich man and Lazarus, with the rich man desperately asking for what he wants from Jesus, or rather demanding what he wants from Jesus. And in the parable of that story, he is rebuked and told no. You'd almost think that by comparison, when the blind man comes rushing up to Jesus to ask for help, that he rebuke him for asking for his help and say, "If you just had faith the size of a mustard seed." But that's not what Jesus does. Yet again, he challenges our expectations of the way we think he will behave. And I don't think it's just Jesus being churlish or contrarian in challenging everything you think he'll do, he'll just do the opposite. I don't think it's that. There's a distinction between the blind man in this story and those other stories. In the case of the disciples coming to Jesus and asking for help, what they're asking for help for is actually something they have within themselves already. Jesus has already given them all of the faith they need to accomplish the things they are called to do in this world. So maybe they're not asking for help. Maybe they're asking for a kind of a favoritism. Maybe they're not trusting that what Jesus has done for them is enough, and they're demanding more. And what Jesus is rebuking them for is not trusting that what he has already given them is what they need, and maybe rebuking them for seeking a little bit of favoritism. They are already people with great privilege. They are the disciples of Jesus Christ. They already have great privilege, and they're asking for more. This blind man, by contrast, he knows what he had, he knows what he has lost, and he's genuinely not asking for favoritism. He's not coming from a place of privilege and demanding that his power and his privilege makes him deserve more. No. He's coming from a place of being vulnerable and asking for what he needs. Asking for Jesus to be compassionate. Asking for wholeness. When I think about the story of the rich man and Lazarus, again, the rich man is asking for help, but he's asking for help, again, from a place of privilege and power, thinking that his privilege in his life means that he deserves to get what he wants, even after the grave demanding that Lazarus serve him. It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder what it is we ask when we ask Jesus for things. Are we asking for things that we want when we really already have everything we need inside? Are we asking for what we want because we don't trust that what Jesus has done for us is already enough? Are we asking from a place of privilege or power, seeking more? Or are we creating a space to look for where we are really in need and letting Jesus come and dwell with us there? that's something I'm going to be pondering for a while now as I think about the ways that I pray and the things that I ask for. I will ponder that in my heart, and I invite you to join me in doing so.